great. Nic and Rocco, thank you so much for coming by the Myer Stand and being with us here today. How are you both?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Wonderful. Well, earlier on today you cooked your wonderful deep fried profiteroles for us and they were amazing. I sampled them myself. What are you going to cook for us now?
We're going to do our signature dish today. It's our herb printed pasta. You would have seen it done on the show, so...
We'll start off by making our super simple pasta. We use the food processor. We don't do anything by hand. We didn't have time on the show.
So with this recipe, it's a real simple one. We call it the 3-2-1. So it's 3 eggs, 2 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of oil. So
the reason why we add olive oil instead of water, you can add water as well, is it just gives the pasta a nice glossy texture and it's much easier to work with. So we put our simple pasta in, mix. So what you want to do is you want to make sure it's scraping down everywhere in the bowl. With the Sunbeam mixer, it's got 4 blades, so it won't form a clump of dough. Like if you've got 2 blades, you'll see a form of dough forming around the outside. It won't do that with this. Basically, you want to put the dough in between your hand, and if it's combining together, like so, it's really good. So we'll just use this bit of extra flour now to bring it all together. You don't need to knead it. We're going to knead it later on using the pasta machine.
When you're making fresh pasta, the best thing to do is sit it in some Glad wrap now and put it in the fridge for about half an hour. Make it really easy to work with. So the longer you can rest it, the better it's going to be.
Alright, so we're doing ricotta filled ravioli today with fresh ricotta. This is a very simple mix. What we'll do...
There, it's done.
No, well, I'll get a bit more. You don't want to use a too salted ricotta, so just the natural one is probably best. And if you've got a knife, do you mind just cutting that open for me?
So to this mix, it's just going to be ricotta, a good handful of parsley, and a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese, and a little bit of nutmeg. Really simple stuff.
So what I'm doing now is I'm just simply breaking up the ricotta. Just using a fork to break it up. What we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt through this mix as well. Not too much because the cheese is salty. So when we're using the grated cheese, it is salty. It's much easier to add salt after at the end of the dish than it is before.
With this dish, we're going to be garnishing it with some pancetta and a little bit of asparagus. So go easy on the salt because it will be salty by the end of it.
Okay, so we've got our fresh parsley that we're going to put through this as well. There's a lot of herbs in this dish and they're going to infuse when we cook this pasta dish.
We're also going to add to that 1 egg. It's just going to bring all the mixture together so we can bind it. You want me to grate that?
Yeah, you grate, I'll do the egg. So we're going to just add the egg yolk with this. And again, when we cook it like Nic said, it will help bind the dish.
So a little bit of fresh nutmeg. Really as much as you want, we won't put too much. And
okay.
Your Parmesan cheese.
Egg yolk in. So you want to put lots of cheese in the dish. It adds a lot of flavour. The ricotta doesn't have any salt, but you get the saltiness from the cheese. And then we basically want to mix that together, combining it nice and well. Like so. And that mixture's ready now. So that's ready to be piped in our ravioli for later. And what we'll do is we'll store it in a piping bag to make life easier. Thank you.
So the good thing about this dish is you can make it in advance. You can have your ricotta already made, your dough in the fridge, and it's just really a matter of assembling at the end.
So what we'll do is we'll store that. And what we'll do is, we haven't rested our pasta, we didn't make any in advance, we're going to just use the one that we just made then, so we'll give it a go.
Just make sure you got plenty of flour on your board so it doesn't stick, and wipe off herbs, because we know what happens with that.
So basically this is how we would have learnt to cook. Mum would be like, I need someone to come and turn the machine. So you know, if you've got young children, or Nic, you can use, this is how we would have learnt. We've also got the KitchenAid there, which is obviously makes life even easier.
With this, you want to start on the thickest setting and you just want to work your way down. So we'll go a few times over number 7 just to knead the dough, and then we'll just reduce it down to a thin setting. You pretty much know you're there when you can see your fingers through the pasta.
So we're using the machine to do all the work. If you make pasta by hand, you need to do a lot of the kneading by hand yourself. So what we're going to do is, knead that about 7 times. Add as much flour as you need, trying to keep it obviously not too much. And what we're going to basically do now is work our way down, one setting at a time. So you don't want to go from 1st to 7th.
And don't worry, your pasta will grow as you do it. So it doesn't look like it's very big now, but by the time we get to the lowest setting, it'll be pretty long.
Pasta's really simple to do. If you follow a simple recipe, get with the quantities that are right.
Well, we can really see it's growing. You weren't wrong.
So we're going to work it all the way down, and we'll show you how we put the pasta. The lower you go with the settings, the slower you need to go.
If it starts breaking up, it means you haven't got enough, it's not wet enough. And if it's sticking to the machine, it's too wet. So
okay, so what we'll do is we'll flour our chopping board, just so that it doesn't stick. You can also put it on a tea towel if you want to avoid it even more. And what we'll do now, I'm not sure if you can see, Nick will show you a leaf. We've got our parsley leaf here. Now this is fresh Italian parsley. It's completely dry. It's been washed and dried, and we've removed the stem so it won't pierce the pasta, like so. And basically all we want to do is push this down into our pasta like so. And we're going to put it through, and you'll see what's going to happen afterwards after we finish this.
People always ask, oh, can you use other leaves? You can use a sage leaf, just make sure you take the stem off, and you can use a basil leaf, but you'll get that flavour in it. So we just stick with the parsley because you've got the parsley through the ricotta.
And the parsley leaf as well seems to look the best. It is the best looking leaf, and when you put it through the dish, you'll see what we mean. So you need to basically go throughout. You can put them fairly close together because it will spread. Like so. It is going to a little bit of extra effort, and it does make a big difference. So you're going to get this flavour throughout your pasta. So we're going to work our way down to about halfway down the pasta sheet. So I'm gently pressing the leaf into the pasta, being careful not to puncture it.
So as you can see with the machine, it's really good. Also, you can't hear Rocco when it's on, so...
If only you were given a KitchenAid on the show, I swear. Alright, so basically I've gone about halfway down now with the pasta sheet. And now I'm going to fold over the other half of the pasta.
Now with your machine, you want to keep it on the last setting you were on. So we went to the thinnest setting here, so we're going to pass it through again.
I don't know if you can already start to see the parsley through. Wait to see what happens when we put it through again now. So very slowly.
Also makes a great wallpaper for home, so...
Okay, so basically we're making our herb printed ravioli. So we've got our pasta sheets now. What we're going to do now is assemble the ravioli. Nick's going to make another one for us though, so that we've got another layer. You don't need to do the herb print on both sides, only the side you're plating up on. We've got a ravioli maker, we can make more out of this. Otherwise, you can easily do it with this and cut around it, cut your shapes around it, circle, square, triangle, whatever you like.